Have y'all seen the Jonathan Majors news?
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah. I saw he got engaged to Megan Good.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about actually the...
Oh, yes, that too.
The case.
That too, right? The case.
But yeah. I think Jonathan Majors will rise back to the top. And I think we're going to be really entertained by his performances. Only people that know what happened that night is Jonathan Majors and Homegirl. You know what I mean? Everybody else is forming opinions and, passing judgment just because of what they saw in 15 seconds.
We have Shade Room, and I'll call them out as well. We have Shade Room, and we have Spiritual World, and we continuously down one another simply because it's cool. I'm so glad everything was taken off the table, and now it's looking like things are coming back around. I hope they do for him.
AJ want everything he can. I'll be the one to
Simeon Pando.
Joy Monet.
Dang.
I'm Melvin Gregg.
This is another episode of Nice and Neat.
I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon.
Welcome back to another episode.
In a fucking white sand, I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on a rather trying to keep a level head. She want my time, she begging me to give me net.
Yes, sir. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well.
Damn it.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon, and this is another episode of the #1 podcast in all of Los Angeles, Nice and Neat. I'm here with my brothers, as you heard them say, Duke and Omar. Man, we got a good episode today, guys.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, bro.
I'll ask you a question
Come
too.
on.
Have y'all seen the Jonathan Majors news?
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah. I saw he got engaged to Megan Good.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about actually the...
Oh, yes, that too.
The case.
That too, right? The case.
Yeah.
I guess
I actually love what's been happening with him making good.
both news. So one, his ex, he wasn't married.
No, he wasn't married.
No,
He wasn't married.
Ex-girl, she dropped the charges against him, right? So all that, the lawsuit,
Oh, she
And-
dropped the entire lawsuit.
She dropped the whole thing, bro.
the whole lawsuit dropped.
So she's not even trying to get a civil suit and get no money for it or nothing.
I just saw it was dropped.
Okay.
Okay. And in addition to that, before that was announced, I should say, he and Megan Good got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
She dropped the lawsuit after he got engaged?
yes,
Interesting.
well, that's when it was reported.
Okay.
That's when I don't know when it happened, but that's
Got
when it
it.
was reported. And I want to get your thoughts on, one, where do you feel like his trajectory is now, or is he going to climb back up? And two, I feel like, why does Jonathan Majors get so much hate from women?
I'm going to answer your first question. I think Jonathan Majors will rise back to the top. I think this is just an unfortunate moment in his career where things seem to be dark and not going the way he wants them to go. But I especially think since the recent news of the case being dropped, I think he will eventually emerge back as the actor that we saw him growing into prior to everything happening. I think people will slowly start to look at his incident as a mistake, you know what I mean? Or for lack of better words, a lapse of character, you know what I mean? But I don't think that that will be the end of Jonathan Majors, especially now that he's married or getting married, a little bit more focused, and this seemed to be off his back. I think we're going to see a new level of focus, more driven Jonathan Majors, someone who's I think he's gonna come back working like he got something to prove, and I think we're gonna be really entertained by his performances.
Yeah, second question.
The second
Wow,
question,
yeah, so are you aware? I don't know how much you pay attention, but there's like this energy where people aren't really happy for Megan Good and Jonathan Majors.
yeah, I guess I haven't followed closely
Yeah.
enough to feel that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reality of the situation is that Jonathan Majors found himself in a domestic situation with a white woman. Okay, that's the reality. A black man found himself in another unfortunate domestic situation with a white woman. So, naturally, he's gonna get he's not gonna get the welcoming from the people of America like you would think, right? You enter a situation with a white woman where she is harmed or feels like she was in danger, it skews a lot of people's opinion on you. So even if you do decide to move on after that particular situation and the smoke blows over and the case gets dismissed and dropped, people still have a bad taste in their mouth about how it all unfolded. Now, I'm not too sure about Megan Good's past and history, so I don't know if that's tying into them not being happy for them or they just not happy for him, But I would say that all of that is adds to the variable of why we're feeling this lack of love for Jonathan Majors. But honestly, though, I do think that over time, bro, when people start seeing, okay, you said they're not engaged, bro. When we see them get married and we see them drop a baby, bro, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about none of this shit. All that shit gonna be water underneath the bridge. He gonna sign another blockbuster film. You know what I mean? He gonna be number one, and everybody gonna be talking about couple goals. You know how that go. We all know how that go, bro. People gonna be the same people that's sitting here talking about, man, I can't believe it. I'm not happy for them. I think that shit is whack. That shit lame. I can't believe she accepted him. She paying for his lifestyle. All that shit nigga talking about, shit gonna be swept underneath the rug. All it's gonna take is for him to get his bread right back up. You know what I mean? Land one more deal, and it's good. So that's my take on it. You know what I mean? I think people are they want to be mad because they think they saw what the truth is, and they form their own opinions. Only people that know what happened that night is Jonathan Majors and Homegirl. You know what I mean? Everybody else is forming opinions and, passing judgment just because of what they saw in 15 seconds.
What you think? You know what I mean, though, about the energy?
Yeah. You feel that? Do you feel it? Because
I feel the energy, but I also think like we're just not united. I think this is bigger.
Talking about as
a black race. I don't think we're really united.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really mobilize together, and then we don't support our own people. And then once we begin supporting our own people, we begin pulling and picking apart what we don't like.
When you say we don't mobilize together, so would you kind of shift the responsibility to Jonathan Majors because he was with a white woman?
I mean, he's still black, right? But so like the thing is, I think where the pain always comes from is, man, I really like this black man. Let me look more into his life. And then you see that he's with a white woman, right? Let's say he wasn't with a white woman. He was with somebody else, because we do this to each other. He's with a black woman, and it's like, but he didn't grow up in the hood, though.
So something was it?
It's gonna be something, right? That we
can find a disconnection.
Well, we find a disconnection. I think regardless, we are supposed to support one another, even when we are wrong. I do think we should support one another. I feel everybody else does it, and I'm not necessarily saying, and I'm gonna say this with conviction. I think we should support each other even through being wrong. I think we should. I think Jussie Smollett was wrong, but I think that we need him as an image, as a homosexual black male in the acting in the industry. We need that figure. We can reprimand him behind closed doors, but to like close him off from the space, in the industry, in us for a mistake is wrong. We go on Shade Room and we have Shade Room, and I'll call them out as well. We have Shade Room and we have Spiritual World, and we continuously down one another simply because it's cool.
Yeah, that shit lame.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know any other, I don't know any white blog sites where they are talking about each other like that. I don't know any Jewish blog sites where they're talking about each other like that. They may say it in their own house, but they don't say it out loud. And we say it to where these platforms are supplying 20, 30, 40 million followers, and people are seeing these things. So they like, if they feel like that about one another, then they shouldn't. Speaking of this and not coming to people's rescue, I don't feel like Kyrie Irving was wrong at all. Nobody spoke up for Kyrie. Nobody said anything to have Kyrie's back. And when I say mobilize, we don't mobilize. So in the Jonathan Majors situation, I'm so glad that the case was dropped. I'm so glad everything was taken off the table, and now it's looking like things are coming back around. I hope they do for him. I really hope they do.
You don't think that they will?
It's gonna be tough, but I hope they do. I mean, we still haven't seen Nate Parker for an alleged incident. We haven't seen him in front of the screen since. So like, I hope they do come around for him.
No.
Another situation I want to talk about. All right, y'all both follow the Breakfast Club. Are you guys aware that Jess Hilarious has been gone pregnant? She's been on
leave?
She's been on leave because she's been pregnant.
No, I'm not aware.
And they've had Lauren LaRosa filling in.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know if it's filling in because she actually had maybe it's filling in, but she's doing an amazing job.
She's a heavier, lighter skin.
No, she's not heavy, but she's I think she's like caramel. She's like caramel, but she's good. She's a journalist, right?
Okay.
And you know, Jess brings that humor, comedic relief to the set, right? And I've been seeing a lot of comments. I'll be going in the comments.
I'll be going in the comments.
I'll be going in the
It's
comments.
low-key the best place on
I'll be going in the comments.
Yeah.
So as soon as I hit the video, I'll go to the comments and I see what they talking about, right? And all I see is, man, Lauren better than Jess. Lauren better than Jess. Lauren better than Jess. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, why do people feel the need? Like, do people really understand like how much division that they create from trying to champion one person? Like, why can't you just like,
I've really been enjoying the show lately.
yeah, why? Oh man,
Right.
Like I just, it just has to be. So then here's the thing, bro. When I hear people talk about, they are always pitting women against each other. Like, who is they?
Them.
Who is they that's always pitting women against each other? Because I go in the comments and I just see women saying, yo, like I hate Jess. I hate Jess. I love Lauren, right? And I'm like, damn, like Jess is at home as a new mother reading this shit. Like, damn, yo, like
That's heavy.
that's tough.
That's heavy.
Like that's tough, right? And she gotta come on air and kind of be cool about it and just be like, yo, I'm just right. But you know she's reading and like every comment is just like, yo, like, hey, just keep Lauren. And I'm like, yo, like, why can't both of them just?
Ain't that like the same thing you guys will face in sports?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
it's more opportunity in sports though. So it's I mean, it is.
Well,
it is.
I mean,
no.
it is way more opportunities, and
Well, I'm talking.
and on-screen talent.
Well, I'm talking about this specific job at that specific company at the specific.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yes, it's the same thing. But still, bro, like you could like somebody. You could like somebody and still reserve space for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just annoying me to see these comments of people not understanding that there's a human that they're talking about, right? There's a human that's affected by the things that you're saying, right? And it bothers me that people have no empathy.
Where do you think we went left with? Where do you think we as people lost empathy? Like, because when Instagram first started, it wasn't like this, bro. People wasn't going crazy on comments on the internet. When Twitter first started, it wasn't like that, bro.
Because we treating people like,
Does social media make us feel like we're closer to people, so it makes us feel more comfortable with saying things?
no, it makes us feel like social media actually gives us ammunition to feel like we can shoot at people. That's what it does, right? It
Because it
actually
gives us more access to what they're doing.
yeah, but it actually reminds us that, hey, this is where I am and this is where they are. So it creates
Allegedly.
it creates some type of divide, right? Where
Yeah.
people feel like, all right, well, if this person is on one of the biggest platforms in the world, that means that like I could shoot at that person.
and they can see it potentially.
And they can see it. So I'm trying to do whatever I can to
Recognition.
just
Like, what's the purpose? What
I don't know.
What is the purpose?
I don't know what the purpose is.
I think we're just social media. Also, in addition to, it just desensitizes us
Yes.
in every way, shape, or form. How many people do you see get killed on social media, and you like, dang, that's crazy, and you scroll to the next
Yeah,
thing.
bro.
Yeah.
Before, if you had seen that,
You'd be like, yo,
yeah,
I can't believe they put this on the internet.
and now
It's like another one. It's crazy.
And just like
It's true.
same energy in that.
seeing that stuff, right? And I brought it up because that type of stuff makes me like really just think about how people lack empathy, right? And people actually don't treat people like humans, and we treat people like platforms and pages, right, and products, but not actually people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was telling Chanel, I was like, yo, this shit made me not want to even be on social media like that because of how, just because of dehumanizing it is. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, everyone has shit that they dealing with.
Yeah.
But you're gonna tell me that all the things that you got going on in your life, you feel like you understand how it is to feel unwanted,
Underpaid,
unwanted, whatever, right?
Yep.
Like replaceable.
Yep.
And here you are saying like, hey, yo, they need to get rid of this girl because you don't like her. You know what I
Do
mean?
you think though people say those things as a reflection of themselves?
Absolutely.
So it's really they don't like themselves.
Absolutely. But also people are socialized to hate something. We're conditioned to hate something. We gotta hate something. So it's just like we don't know how to love two things. It's like you can't love Kobe and LeBron or LeBron and Jordan. It's just something you gotta hate. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just hate it like that because to me, people like that,
I hate it like that.
I hate it because really, no, people like that lack emotional intelligence
Mm-hmm.
and they're out of touch. And people like that don't got shit going for themselves.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a
fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Because when you got shit going for
You ain't got
yourself,
time for that.
you understand what, like, you just understand, hey, yo, I wouldn't want my doing that.
No. And low key, I'm actually like, I'm not where I need to be. So,
Yeah, I don't want
hey, so, yeah. No, that's a fact.
Yeah, so that shit is like, it's just tough watching that type of stuff, man. It happens. It happens all over, right? But that's just kind of like, obviously I watch the Breakfast Club a lot, so I've been noticing that. I'm like, yo, like this girl is at home reading these comments.
Hey,
And it's making her feel.
so I'm gonna ask you, because you watch the Breakfast Club, is she better?
Is she better?
Does she?
I think she offers a different energy to the show. I think she is more polished when it comes to reporting on real-time news.
Does the dynamic shift?
The dynamic is more professional radio type. With Jess,
it's more
comedy.
fun. It's more fun. It's more fun.
You're gonna laugh more.
Yep.
Right. There's gonna be more jokes, so it's entertaining.
Way more improv going on.
It's more entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna speak with her, innuendos and things like that, right?
So almost what's the lady's name that's on? That's in her.
Lauren LaRosa.
So it's almost like Lauren LaRosa is.
Am I right, Dammy? Yeah. Lauren LaRosa? Yeah. She's
so
TNT.
So that's what I was gonna say. So it's almost like she's a professional.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
But where Jess is an amateur at journalism.
Yeah.
At journalism, she's a pro at being an entertainer and a stand-up comedian, right? Her hours would say that she's an expert at that.
Yeah, but at this point, the Breakfast Club is no longer just a radio, and we just need you to report. It is actual media. We want you to be entertained by. So, like, regardless, she's a journalist or not. Hey, the
crazy. Hey, that right there is crazy, bro.
Well,
I'm trying to look up Lauren LaRosa.
yeah, we just need the person that's in the seat to just help us do whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
And I think both of them serve a different purpose, but it's just, I would never go on anyone's comments talking about, oh, this person's better than that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm not treating this person like a human being.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like, okay, this person doesn't have feelings. Like, forget her feelings, and then think about the relationship divide that it causes between the two. You know what I mean? Like even me and you homies, right? But if you kept seeing in the comments, bro, like, hey, yo, Duke better than O, Duke better than O, Duke better than O. Like, you ain't gonna say nothing, but it's still like, hey, damn, nigga.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You gonna feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say, what's O doing?
Yep.
Or what's Duke doing?
Yep.
So now it's gonna turn you off and you're not gonna want to open up to be. I'm just saying, like, I don't like.
That's true. That's very, very true.
I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it. So
Jess is back though, right?
yeah, she back. She back and
Back with the mess. Just with the mess.
just yeah with the mess. But she back. But I think that was just an example that reminded me of just like how so many people on the internet just are out of touch with humanity. And everyone feels like they could just say whatever in people's comments.
I know this is not where we're going. This is not even about the episode. But do you think we will ever come to a place where that changes? Do you think there comes a time where we actually gain empathy back for other people and we start treating people with respect online?
No. Because people can't get punched in the face. Nobody get punched in the face online.
Yeah, that's why I was.
Because nobody
This generation,
face on.
this generation is different. I feel like I was talking about that kind of recent.
No.
The generation below us, there was no, oh, okay, you said that, I'm gonna fire on this dude after end of school. There was none of that. Like, respect was built into our world because we knew we could get touched. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, respect was built into our world based off of that, just alone.
Yep.
Like, there was nobody, like, there was no bullying acts. There was no extension of protection outside of what you can do. Well, I feel like Pops with these, like, that was it. Like, there was no teachers who was going to protect you because you was getting bullied. Like, you had to stand up for yourself. You had to defend yourself. There was no legislation that was put in place in order for people not to say certain things to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no social media firewalls. Like, however, I will say the repercussions in this generation, they just look different. So people are going to express themselves differently now. Like, all of these kids now, if they do get beat up, it's going to be on the internet and it lives forever. So, like, that's way tougher than the 6 people who see you get beat up after school.
That's true. That's true.
That's way tougher. I got to transfer schools. Like, as a parent,
yeah.
you got to now do your job, but you can't just be like, man, go out there, tough it out. Like, now you got to really be like, oh, this joint went viral. We got to go somewhere where
different time we live in it. That's so interesting.
It's a different
I never thought
time.
about that.
It's a different time. However, these kids do act the way that they act because they protected a little bit differently too. These kids not getting punched in the face. I wouldn't say certain things to certain people just off of the fact of you could get touched. To this day, we all walk around with respect for other people because it's like, oh no, if he gets mad enough, he can hit me. These kids now, they don't feel that way. That is not how they maneuver through life.
Again, this is not what this is episode about, but I feel like I know this about you. I feel like you and Brittany are the parents that don't want to physically discipline your son.
Don't want to.
So how do you convey that message to your son?
You know what I'm saying? Don't want to. Right. So like if he's in a space where he need to get snatched up, he gotta get snatched up.
Yeah.
But also, something that's really important to me, we talked about this as well, is putting my son in combat sports early. So teaching him how to fight early.
Physical. Yeah.
Physical, really, really early.
So you try to be physical.
Making him really comfortable with his hands.
And aggressive.
Yeah. Making him really comfortable with those things. So when he ever is in any of those spaces, he's like, man, you don't want to do this.
Yep.
Like, you don't want to do this. I feel like you can actually be better with your words when you're better with your hands. It sounds crazy. I know. But when you know you could beat people up,
you calm.
You real
good.
Like, I don't
even try to go there, bro.
I don't need to. I fight 3 days a week. I don't need to do it here at school.
Yep.
And get in trouble. And now I got to talk to my parents about it.
For sure. And then I think you're just more, your heart not racing like that.
Nah.
So you're not just like, all right.
You know that a roller coaster feeling, like,
yeah, let's go there.
Yeah.
The heart not racing.
It's different. It's much different. And especially because you just think about it where you are at now as an adult, as opposed to being an adolescent. And you think about how confident you are with the way that you move now. When you're faced with altercation, you're like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you imagine if you had that same feeling at 7, 13, 15, 16, to where you like, I can actually talk myself out of this. I don't need to participate in any of this. I just think this generation is just totally different. It's totally different.
I hate people with internet. I hate you motherfuckers.
Maybe that's the title.
Nah, but not really though. It just sometimes, man, sometimes it just I really am disgusted with people on the internet.
Collectively, I feel like we have really supportive fan base demographic that leaves comments. I feel like at any given moment, any given episode, one of us could go off, and on that particular episode, you could see, man, Duke dropping hella gems right now, or Jalon dropping hella gems right now, or was on it today. You know, I think we run into those things, but for the most part, we've cultivated such a positive, outlooking audience, and probably because of the way that we speak and what we attract. So I haven't really been able to see too much decisiveness. I don't know about you guys within our comments or on any of our platforms. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, there are, a few instances, few posts where, but I don't even think it was divisive on us though. You know what I mean? Maybe about the particular topic that we were talking about.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider, I wouldn't even judge our audience or any audience based on them hearing things that they like and they agree with.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to just be cool with everything when you're hearing things that kind of make you feel warm and stuff like that.
Yep.
But what happens when people say things that you don't agree with or are extremely far left? What's your approach to the comment section?
Yep.
Do you address it with, hey, I just didn't agree with that, but I see his point? Or is there just an influx of negative comments? And here's the thing, things that don't even pertain to what's being said.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're talking insults.
Yep.
Now we're talking about take the mics away.
Yep.
Come on, man. So that to me is where I look at people and say, yo, out of all the things, and when I say sometimes I don't like people on the internet, it's just you could watch 100 episodes of Nice and Neat. Okay? And there could be 100 hours and hours and hours and thousands of hours of footage that you can go through to see exactly what we're about.
But 1 15-second
But when you see a clip and say, take the mics away. All right? And here's the thing. I understand the impact of a clip. I understand that, right? But how can you lack so much emotional intelligence that you don't even consider context before you jump on someone's comment and make a assumption or a comment or whatever? I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much dumb shit I've seen on the internet, bro? I've never gone on no one's pages and insulted them for something I didn't agree with.
Yep.
And I think that's a very low vibrational, low level
activity right there. Yeah.
For people. And
that's normal.
That's normal? It's not low level?
No. Low vibrational, low level activity is
the new norm.
It's the new norm.
That's great.
I think a lot of these pages that the majority of us follow, us as Black people follow, are low vibrational, low activity, hyper. Let me just get how I feel off without having a real conversation. It was something interesting that I seen the other day. To your point, I was in the comments. I was deep in the comments too. So much so I was falling asleep reading these comments. I seen DeVal was on Poor Minds recently.
It was a good episode.
And it was a really good episode, right? And he was giving some percentages of Black men that are with Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was giving percentages, and there was somebody who was a sociologist, and they actually go through the census and compare these numbers, and they were just saying some of these numbers are skewed. I'm not saying he's wrong in what he's saying and what he's comparing it to, but some of these numbers are skewed, and people were just saying, he just gave you the facts right there. And she's just saying, she's in the comments and she's saying, I understand what he's saying. However, this is based off of this age group of men. However, this age group of men is no longer getting married. So that number is going to be varying and it's going to be changing. And people were cussing at this lady in the comments. And I was just like, yo, it's kind of crazy how reluctant people are to receiving information and actually having a conversation that goes against and it's opposing to their views.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's crazy.
And because I'm reading the conversation, because first the original comment, I could see how the original comment was, you'll feel like she's hating. Anything that's an opposing view is going to feel like it's hating, right? As I'm reading, there's 292 comments under this comment. I didn't read all 292, but I read a lot of them to where I'm seeing she's actually trying to explain herself. And she's trying to, for example, if I tell you there's only 300 Black men that are in the NBA, and I use that 300 number that black men are in the NBA, and I use that to compare it to millionaires in the black community, and I say, you guys are fighting for these 300 jobs. It's like, but that number is not real unless all of those people want to go to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So that number is not real. You can give the stat, but if 12 kids want to be doctors, 13 kids want to be engineers, like, you're taking away from those numbers right there. So as she's giving this, she's like, hey, yo, there needs to be more context to these numbers, because there's not 90% of black men who are with black women that are making over $600,000 a year. She's telling us, I can show you these numbers. So it's just really interesting how people are so reluctant to information. I love what he said on that episode. I love how he carried himself through the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he uplifted all of us throughout that episode. In that energy was not reciprocated in those comments. So if people want to have conversation, we can have conversation. But again, because we are so used to being divided and separated and segregating ourselves, we don't need anybody else to do it. We do it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't mobilize. We don't get together and be like, hey, how can we get together and make this work? Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel this way? We look at ourselves we truly do look at ourselves as monoliths. Because as soon as somebody disagrees with you, you're not as black as they think you should be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just keep my opinion to myself. I won't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just stay quiet about it. And I'll make my decision on my own. And when I make myself out of the hood,
I don't have nobody.
I don't need to help nobody.
I don't have nobody. I'm not gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna lie to everybody. And the other thing is, like, there is no attempt to understand.
Nah.
That's what I don't like.
Mm-mm.
There's no attempt to really digest what people say.
Yep.
It's just like everything is trigger.
Or maybe they say they do, but they're just trying to defend, right? They're not even trying to understand.
Yeah.
They're listening to defend. It's like, yo, I got this point. I'm trying to get off so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Like, it's like today, actually, I heard Lisa Ray. She had said, so she was interviewing with somebody, and she said that, yo, she doesn't date. She only dates rich, successful, powerful men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she explained why. And she says, because I wouldn't even want to put no one in that position to have to keep up with my lifestyle. Right. I wouldn't want to do nobody like that, because I like to travel when I want. I like to go to these restaurants when I want. So I would never want to do that with anybody. So, like, I only date powerful men.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, like, shit makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me.
I'm like, yo, it makes sense to me. Like, she's
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Own bread, own
Yep.
career.
Yep.
She's been in the game for a long time. It makes sense to me. Okay. And I'm like, I see guys in the comments like,
That's why you single.
that's why you single at almost 60. How's that working out for you? These women, I tell you, like, shit like that, where it's just like, yo, you're not attempting to even understand. You just offended.
Yep.
Because you don't fall in.
Because you don't fall
You just offended.
into her criteria.
You just offended because you don't fall in that criteria. Because here's the thing, right? And I thought about this too. Let's take two guys, okay? If I want to insult you, what I say? If I want to insult another man, like, what are some of the...
You broke.
You broke, right? That's an insult to a man.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that, okay, you trying to criticize a woman for creating this hierarchy with the men she deals with, but you create the hierarchy yourself when you insult other men about how much money they make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we playing the same game. You playing the same game. You just like hearing nobody else say it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
And you striving to be that guy. You striving to be the powerful, rich guy.
That's a fact, dude.
You striving to be the powerful, rich, successful guy because you feel like it's going to give you favor over other guys.
Yep.
It's going to give you favor with women. That's the game you playing. So then when you hear a woman say that, hey, yo, like, I want that. I only date these types of guys. It offends you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that because we all want that.
Yeah.
I don't like that because that's we all want the same thing. We just be offended when people say something. You know what I mean? And that's the lack of emotional intelligence to me. And that's why I don't be liking people on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people on the internet.
The internet is in a bad place.
Right. Because you just mad. You're just mad because she's saying what you already subscribe to.
You know what it sound like to me? That nigga gotta get some more money there.
She gotta get some more money. Yeah.
Because, hey, I ain't gonna hold you. When you were working on yourself, you get you some more money, you mind your business. You gonna sit back and you gonna chill out. Why I'm gonna be mad at what she want?
Why I'm gonna be mad at what she want?
Because, and this is the thing, it's not like she's saying that and she's not somebody who's touched that. That's a different conversation. She's not somebody who hasn't touched that. She's not somebody who we don't know.
Yes, bro.
How old you think those men are making those comments about her?
They grew up watching the Players Club like we did.
No, you think it's really old? Because Lisa Ray probably, what, 50? You think it's 50-year-old men?
No.
And her comments saying that?
Nah.
Ain't no way.
Nah, bro. It's people like that's not even probably in her
sphere.
Her fear, like her emotional. Nah, it's just like, come on, bro. And what I'm saying is like, you know all these things. You know she ain't talking about you.
Yeah, she's not talking about you, bro.
Why are you getting offended? And going out of your way to make a comment to diminish her because of her age.
People take, you know what I'm saying? Social media posts so freaking personal.
Yeah, so like that's another example. It's just like everyone's trash, man.
And not everyone. It's just like
not everyone.
Not everyone.
But it's just like a lot of stuff is just trash on social media, man.
So I know we talking about it, right? I would love for us to see like what can we do to make positive steps toward or away from this space of negative social media being consumed and also supporting these pages that support this negativity that constantly goes out into our ecosystems. Because I'm telling you, I really just think that at this point we do more damage to us than anybody else. We could constantly talk about how oppressed we are, but we do it. So
people could start by censoring themselves. You know what I mean? That's one place. Another thing people could start by doing is like, if you find yourself always engaging in these particular posts and this type of manner, then maybe you should probably just unfollow that platform altogether. If like this platform brings the negative side out of me, if it brings out things that, if it takes me outside of my character, I shouldn't even want to be near it. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different platforms, there's so many different pages, there's so much good things going on to be talking about that you could be looking at, that you could be commenting on. You know what I mean? So, and then also too, it's just like, bro, focus on you. Focus on you.
That's it.
Focus on you. Think about how you can elevate. How can you get to the bag? How can you be a better person? How can you better lead your family? How could you better like put yourself in a position to help others around you? How could you raise the tide so all the ships raise around this motherfucker?
Hello.
Like let's do that. Let's dive into that. You know what I mean? As opposed to just spending time on platforms that's not, pouring into me or that's evoking these emotions, that's making me come to these Twitter fingers and leaving comments about people that I would never even say to their face.
When the last time you see something on social media you didn't like?
That someone else posted that I personally, I'll probably see something I don't like
Probably every day.
Every day.
Probably every day.
And when the last time you said so?
And I liked it. What are you talking about? I liked it.
Yo.
I liked it.
Kept it moving.
And kept it moving. And kept it moving because just because I didn't like it doesn't mean that it wasn't a good post for that person or doesn't mean that didn't have value for somebody else.
Yeah.
I just didn't dig it. But I understood what it took for that person to even create that post. So
that's what you like.
So that's what I like. I respect that, bro. It take real courage to post that. Boom, boom. Good looking, bro. Keep posting. I may even leave a comment. I actually won't leave a comment on something I don't like. I don't be fake like that now. But I will like it. You know, but that shit happens often, bro. Probably, I'm not even lie. Probably twice every 24 hours, you seeing something that you do not like.
Mm-hmm. It's just not my duty to tell a stranger what I don't like about what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's not my duty. I'm not policing people that I do not know. People that I don't have context about. I don't know anything about them. I don't know what the kind of day they had, their brothers, sisters. I don't know anything about them. So when people post things and say things that are far left from my beliefs, I just take it as they just think differently.
yeah.
And that's their experience. And I focus on me. How would what would I look like going out of my way to go comment on someone's post and talking about what I don't like? And check this out. You will watch people's posts and see the things that you do like, and I say nothing.
And I say nothing.
Get on my face, man.
Get out of my face.
Get on my face with that, bro. So you're gonna see 1,000 things that you do like and not say nothing.
Dog, you know, it's so crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a super optimist or something like that. But it's actually super hard for me to not comment on somebody's stuff that I like. It's hard for me to not do it. Because sometimes I'll be in a rush and I'm like, I don't got time. All right, let me just go ahead and get that right quick.
You know, that's funny, bro. I will send myself something from my other page so I don't forget it. I'm like, nah, I got it. Like, I don't have time to get into it right now, but I gotta get to this. I gotta get to this and show some love. Leave a comment. This is good. No, that's crazy.
And it's so funny because people are literally the flip to where it's like, when I don't like something, I'm in the comments.
I'm in the comments because what? Because I think people are actually socialized to want to inflict pain and insult people before they want to make people feel good.
I got a question for you. Do you think people are more bad than good or good than bad innately?
I think people are innately good.
Okay.
That's how I feel. People have bad habits though, but people are innately good. I feel like most people will see you drop $1 and pick it up and give it to you. Most people. I think most people will hold the door open for you. I think most people see you fall on the ground and try to help you up. I feel like most people are innately good.
Yeah.
For sure.
So important about that I've learned, it's actually more important to look at people as being innately good rather than bad, because when people are bad, you always have to question their motive. And it puts you through mental hula hoops all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't never maneuver with peace because you be like, why Omar do that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Duke say that like that? Rather than just be like, oh, well, maybe Omar just didn't see you. You don't have that space to say he didn't see you. Now it's like, oh, he just walked by me and didn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah. So even though I say
shit personal.
Yeah.
Even though I say people are innately good, I think what I'm talking about is the disdain I have for people like on social media. It's not because they're bad people though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These are good people. They just lack emotional intelligence and they can't control the negative parts of them that wants to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you could be a good person and still only comment negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you kind of been socialized to do. That gets more reactions. And also, that's what makes you react more. You know? So if you walk around every day and, you got a bunch of people saying, oh, man, that's a nice haircut. Handsome. You handsome. You dress nice. All right, the minute someone says, hey, nigga, shoes is trash, you will probably
fucking with you.
That would be the thing that you probably remember more.
Hang on to.
Right? That'd be the thing you...
So let me ask you this then. If we know that, right, and the whole premise of social media is for engagement,
Mm-hmm.
Can we be mad at these pages for putting out the things that they know that human beings are going to engage with?
Can we be mad at the pages?
Yeah, these pages, these people running these pages.
Yeah, we can be mad at the pages, but we always got to go with the people first. We could be mad at the pages. For sure.
Honestly, I don't really feel like that though. I feel like, each page, every page, every handle has a different responsibility and objective.
Yeah, that's true. These are businesses.
You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't say that, but the people the people do have a bigger responsibility because the people aren't out there representing the brand or doing things for engagement. They're doing things just to be cruel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think, you know why I say the people too? Because once you start putting the responsibility in like the brands or the pages, like you try to absolve yourself from having to have good behavior. Because there's a bigger giant than you that is more influential that you could look to and say, okay, all my decisions are stemming from this big machine.
Mm-hmm.
So like with Black people, we're looking at everywhere else but ourselves to make change, to make better decisions when like we know all the information. We got enough information, we got enough examples, we got enough people. But if we don't have the mindset where, yo, this shit starts with us first, then we're always going to be looking for an external thing to come be the driving force behind change behavior. So that's why I can't ever say the page. It's always got to be people. Because we know better.
Okay. All right. I got one more question for you guys. This is a Black question. Do you guys believe that Black people can create their own ecosystem in America? Do you think that Black people can have their own sports leagues, their own hospitals, grocery stores, TV networks, banks in America?
I think so. I think 1,000% we can. Now, how effective and strong those things will be, I don't know. It'd take a long time. It'd take decades, bro. It'd take decades for us to even be able to stand in those particular areas, in financial institutions, in pro sports. Like you're competing against juggernauts. So it's possible. It's possible.
Are you competing against juggernauts though if everything's in the Black ecosystem? So you wouldn't be competing against the NFL in a all
Well, you are competing against the NFL because NFL is paying other players. So until our Black
okay, I got you.
Until our Black league has the dollars, you know what I mean, it can compensate, the talent,
I got you.
in a meaningful way, then guys not gonna make that decision. Like we were just talking about having a conversation the other day at the barbershop. Like, yo, if everyone's holding out, if there's a lockout going on, and there's some players saying, "Hey, bro, we're not showing up," and you ain't got your second deal. You pulling up to the lockout with them boys, or you going to work?
I'm going to work.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's until you in a position, you can't say that you would do that.
So the question, the way I view the question is like, is it possible? And yeah, it's possible.
Of course, it's possible.
But there has to be things that we have to be okay with. Like, you got to be okay with not making the $10 million a year. You got to be, there's a lot of things that you're going to have to look at and say, hey, this is the white institutions and this is Black institutions. And we got to just write this out. That's really what it comes down to. But if you're comparing, if you're like, oh, Grammy Award, Black Award, you're always going to want what you think is just higher up on a total pole.
The separation gap is so large that I don't think it'll happen. It can, but I don't think it will.
And then you also got to deal with doing good business and bad business.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is it would no longer be just, oh, okay, this dude, bad business deal. It'd be like, yo, I did a bad business deal because he's Black.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You feel me? It'll never be that where it's just like, all right, cool, next Black guy.
So it's something I think about all the time, and it always pains me because, like, truthfully, the infrastructure of the way that our country is situated is just not set up for all of those things to be successful. We can do it, but to be successful, right? Why does the NBA have so much money?
Why does it have so much money?
Yeah, where they get their money from?
Advertising.
Cool. Through what? Television.
Yeah.
TV dollars, right? Mm-hmm. Who owns TV?
Jewish.
It's not us.
Not us.
So that's something else we got to do, right?
Yep.
Let's look at some of their biggest sponsors. Half of their players wear what shoe?
Nikes.
It's not us.
Well.
So, like, when we talk about all the money that's going to be getting funneled in, it's like where it's coming from. Like, we can name all of our billionaires. We can name every single one of our billionaires. So when we're talking about actually, like, trying to say, let's compete, it wouldn't be a competition. We could have our own ecosystem, but it wouldn't be a
You know what?
competition.
It would be very interesting if the young boys got hip, because we were just having a conversation off camera about Kai Cenat, right?
Mm.
Imagine if like him and his group and the young boys come, like what they decided to do with their bread, and because these boys is touching real dollars right now,
Real money.
real money. You know what I mean? Like I just saw Afrotech post about the top influencer in the world on TikTok. Black dude. You got the most following of anybody in the world.
Who's that, the Katie guy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he's killing it.
Killing it. So I would be curious to know like what could happen if those type of guys decided to link up.
So,
Join resources. You know what I mean?
So I don't know if they listening, but truth be told, the first thing they got to do, the platforms that they streaming off of, they got to hop off and create their own.
That's it.
That'll be the first thing.
That'd be the first thing. Kai Cenat could do that. He
can
can create his own platform right now.
See, think about it, bro. It's just now we talking about business infrastructure. We're not talking about popularity. It's a difference because like a lot of this shit is like, hey, infrastructure, hop on. We make everything work for you. All you have to do, you just be the face.
Yep.
You just be the black kid who is popular, who is charismatic, who people like. Okay, and then you drive because he got all these Twitch subscribers going to
Kanye told us this.
Huh?
Kanye told us this. Remember when he told Sway, you don't got the answers?
Mm.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So I could make it this high, but bro, I'm going to hit this ceiling because they're not going to let me in.
Yo. So yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. But I thought about that too. But and ideally, in a perfect world, yes. But there will be so much. We have to detach from seeing what they got.
Yep.
Oh, they got this, so we need this.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we got that mentality, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm passing up all this, black or not.
Straight up.
I'm passing up everything. So, fellas, anything else? Good money?
I'm good. Man, y'all have a happy new year, bro.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoy your holidays and
Okay.
man, let's get our mind right to head into 2025.
Okay.
Healthy, happy, strong,
Mm-hmm.
and healed, man. So yeah, that's really it for me.
Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead, drop a comment, let us know what you thought. Be sure to subscribe to all of our streaming platforms. Follow us on all our social platforms at niceandneatthepodcast. And with that said, much love, much gratitude. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that on that. Peace.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance I stand.